followed a textbook format, right? And they kind of worked around that. So let's jump back into the game here. Once again, they got things situated. It is first blood drawn by AP Bren. We got Turtle coming up here in less than 30 seconds. Some level 4s coming across the board so far as well. So we'll see how they rotate around that first big objective.
Yeah, and because of that kill, obviously Ryzen is going to have to really work hard to make sure he is not underleveled against the opposite jungler, which is Kyle TZ. Obviously, one level, level 4 between level 5, the retribution damage is quite noticeable. Yeah. So something to really think about here.
But then again, if you are a Joy, you're not that concerned about the first few turtles of the game. You're actually concerned about scaling. So
get that item, right?
Gotta get that item. Gotta get that big tam, as Mr. Narsa would say.
Oh, well, they're going to be fighting for this right now as they break out.
Yeah, it seems to be. Turtle is going to be missed out on the retribution here. Nomad is the one who takes it up. And there's going to be a huge missile here. Huge movement here for AP Bren. They're locking in heads in a very bad position. Forces Nomad with the flicker as well. Ryzen trying to see if he can get some kills on the back of that, but it's a big no from the world champs.
Okay, so they got the objective. TNC did that, but AP Bren got another kill here. How's that look, though, in terms of, like, worth it? Hatred trying to keep a few from going back, but how's that look, Wolf?
Well, the fact that they didn't lose as much, like Ryzen didn't die, it was only heads that died in that game. I think that's kind of worth it for TNC because that's extra levels and farm for their jungler. And heads actually utilized the Daytona's welcome just to make sure that Kyle TZ will not be in the picture when it comes to those retry battles. So maybe this is the play now for TNC.
That was actually pretty big, I would say, right? Nomad maximizing the damage from the early game power of nature, basically as powerful almost as a retribution, and depending on the amount of HP the Lord has, or Turtle rather.
Yeah, I like that they at least got something out of that exchange. That was the main thing. Not letting that lead or that kind of confidence, the momentum from AP Bren to continue to build up. At least in this case, you're keeping things relatively even in terms of economy, and that's the best thing you can do right now. TNC has a lot of scaling potential here as well. That's one of the great things. Anytime you have a Novaria, you can kind of rely on that, right? Let's build up, let's scale up. We have vision we can work with. You can also just kind of fire off from the distance. Oh, I think Ryzen, he's going to be fine.
Pretty aggressive drive-by here being done by Kyle TZ, and like you mentioned, Ryzen just trying to avoid the fights. He's doing exactly what Wolf says, avoiding these fights, just making sure he doesn't die and trying to get that gold. But right now, Kyle TZ, since he already did use the Passans, this is known by TNC. They know that maybe they can try to leverage something here.
Okay, everybody just kind of focused up on this side of the map. Turtle going to be worked on by Kyle TZ, Yasuo, and Nomad. Keeping their eyes here. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, going straight at it. Retribution being activated by Ryzen. He gets it. No fights yet available for this Joy, but that's exactly how TNC wants it.
Great job coming out from TNC, identifying a good opening, and despite CC coming out from flat TZ, just try to zone out Ryzen as well as to kind of force that retribution around the purple. Ryzen kept his cool and actually managed to get the retribution up, and this time they did not lose any of their heroes. Really great identification coming out from TNC.
They look really good right now, man.
Yeah, again, if they can continue to get the objectives for TNC, I feel like at this current part of the game, it's the best you can do, right? Just get these turtles, farm up as best you can, especially for Yasuo here on this Clint pick. He just needs some time to build up, right? Nomad, though, will get whittled down a little bit.
Oh, he can't really ignore the damage coming in from a Matilda, but at the same time, you know what? Ryzen, very close by. They know they can kind of just overstep a little bit, just try to get as much resources and maybe eke an advantage for AP Bren. TNC has been doing that over and over again here, slowly but surely.
Bottom lane, heads keeping them together for now, but look at this aggression from AP Bren on this side of the map. Not sure if they still want to continue. They're playing around the mobility that they have, and that's anytime you have a Matilda especially, that's what you're going to expect from these sorts of teams, right? Playing around that kind of the option that they have to get out of situation. Wow.
Huge missile expert there being used by Heads, forces the Purify out of Super Marco. This is so interesting, right? What we're seeing here with AP Brent trying to start these fights, but TNC just not obliging them.
Yeah. And the thing about TNC is that is their win condition. When you're playing this Joy, you really have to look for the late game. And they picked up the clip. The good thing for Yasuo so far is not being pressured. So he will still be able to output the damage. And we've seen in day one that Khalid has great late game actually.
True.
Weak in the mid game, great in the early game, but late game actually can scale.
Oh.
Yeah, one combo is going to do some pretty nasty stuff. Forces Flicker out of Nomad again. This time it's going to be Kyle TZ coming out on top. But look at this. Here comes Flap TZ with the additional damage that AP Bren needed to clean up that fight.
So they had an answer this time. APBR Bren was like, you know what, Ryzen, you're not going to continue to do that. They catch him out as well, on top of securing that turtle. So AP Bren making quite a big play there. How's this playing into the items right now, Wolf, as we get into that 7.5 minute mark?
Well, there is already the War Axe coming out from Mr. Flap TZ, so you saw the damage output that he was able to take out Ryzen. Even obviously Ryzen was low anyways, but he can now threaten for kills.
Pretty nasty stuff right now, but look at that. Nomad's actually taking a lot of that nasty damage coming in from Super Marco, who we haven't actually seen much in these fights. So maybe this time around he'll be able to show what these balls are made of.
Well, right now they're on fire. He also
they are on fire.
Yeah, he just also picked up, I believe it was the Berserker's Fury just recently, so this is the point that I'm talking about. We're a minute away from this Lord. AP Bren, you can already see the pressure they're putting on this side of the map of TNC.
Yeah.
They will try to get a pick off if they can, leading into that first Lord here, of course. And right now, for the most part, I mean, they have control of this pace, of what they want to do around the map. TNC getting further behind here. Yes, it's only 2K. It's not anything crazy, but they still can't let that kind of just slide out of the hands here. You know, and that's been the case for TNC for a lot of times. So something has to happen for them here as they try to set up.
Yeah, they're trying to make that happen right now with the Daytona's welcomed. Obviously, Heads going to be left all alone here for the meantime. But look at this, AP Bren, no fear whatsoever, dives straight up onto the Heads. And Nomad of TNC, nice barrier there. Slow him down, but nope, you can't really stop him. So mobile this AP Bren lineup is right now. Rising on the back, seeing if he can pick up some stragglers here, and he chooses Flap. Damage is not quite there yet.
I said it, guys. There's the Lord coming up. They got their pick off that they wanted, and they're going to go right for the objective here. So TNC knows this as well. I like the fact that they're going to try to at least get some vision here, but they have to be careful. Few holding on to the wild charge himself, and this looks like it could just be a Lord to them.
Yeah, this is such an easy zone here right now for AP Bren, with even Nomad not even lasting that long to the yo-yos. Oh man, this is just way too much damage right now being built up by the bees.
You see what they're trying to do here for AP Bren. The siege is great. It's like a, I don't know, maybe the visualization here is a phalanx, you know?
Yeah.
What was that called?
Spell phalanx.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
But yeah, you know, that traditional war tactic where you build up your shields, then when somebody gets in, you let him through inside your formation. And AP Bren's formation is like that. That's what they did up top during their siege, and that's what they did around the Lord area where they let Ryzen in. And AP Bren, the moment Ryzen showed himself, they just destroyed him with them all going all together.
Yeah, basically like a fly trap, right? Luring in your target, luring in your prey, and making them wish they did actually go in.
Yeah, that's what I love about this lineup right now as they continue to assault the base of TNC, getting some of these shields down. It looks like they're also going to get this top inhibitor turret down as they do. AP Bren still making some work here. Ryzen trying to keep that wave from pushing in. Is he going to be able to get the wall?
That was a beautiful Guardian barrier here. And so far, so good here. Ryzen's going to go down, at least for AP Bren. TNC, they're really struggling here to just survive to the DPS of AP Bren. Rocking up on 7.7K right now.
Whew, I don't think Ryzen felt good about that Guardian's barrier,
That was so good. That was so good. And he's going to be knocking Nomad later for sure after his, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'm kidding, but that did not fare well for him.
It's tough. Again, all of this in the last couple minutes. An 8K gold lead now, AP Bren. Look at the damage on Nomad.
Yeah. They can't tank this much damage, man, at all.
Looking very difficult now because even Heads already committed the flicker play. They don't have the damage, and even Ryzen is not scaled up yet.
Man, Ryzen evaporated there. Do you guys see that?
Yeah, this is
Oh
gonna
my
be a tough
goodness.
one. They're going to push it in.
There we go. Possible GG push here. It's a 4v5. And the beautiful engage being started off here by Ogwen and cleaned up very well by the balls of Super Marco. And now the damage is just unbearable here for AP Bren. Clearing it up, waiting for the hits to come into the base and clean it up for game number 1.
In these early skirmishes and team fights.
Of
So,
course, yeah.
we'll see. Again, if you guys want to in the chat, whether you're watching wherever you are, give us a 1 or a 2. A 1 for AP Bren lineup, a 2 for TNC, whichever you're feeling like is going to win this game. If we get to a game 3 or not, jumping in the land of dawn. Game 2 here as it's match point for
boy.
AP Bren.
Man, Wolf. And of course, it's nice who's first cast of the season. The
Of
gourd
course.
shows
Of
up.
course, the gourd.
Of course, right?
Yep.
You know, I woke up this morning
Yeah.
with a gourd, watching gourd,
Yep.
and now
Yep.
I get to see it here.
Yep. You know, you always miss your daddy, and Gord misses his, daddy. Daddy nice you. Daddy nice is
yeah.
here. I gotta show up.
Yeah, got to.
That's how it is, you know? And even looking at the emblems here, that's a whole lot of, wow, the good
Flicker.
athletic flicker, Super Marco. That's what I like to call that.
Good move here. Good move. And they did it in the exact moment where Ogwen was not really anywhere nearby, so they had to force a flicker out of Super Marco. That's something, at least for TNC, a good start.
Oh, great start, actually. Allows for Yasuo to stay in this lane. Brody alone is a bad matchup for the Claude, but Brody and Diggy together, oh man, that's a lane that you never really want to face up against.
Big nightmare here. Of course, they're making the nightmare scenario work at the very least in their laning phase.
Yeah.
And that's all we can ask for right now. Obviously, we've seen Claude really tear it up in the past few games here in Mpl Philippines. So, gotta keep your eye on the VAT. Kaltizi, though, has that target straight up on the head. He can't really move that much. His movement just being slowed down by the AP Bren lineup. It's so hard to do anything right now with a trio up top.
Yeah, tough to play around that, right? Now, first objective coming up here. Both teams going to want to contest this, but already still going, forcing Ryzen back. So unless he decides to actually contest this, might just have to give it up to AP Bren for now. But Nomad there with the information as well. But it looks like Kyle Teasy and the rest should be able to just grab this. No implosion available either for Nomad, but they might want to do something here.
Yeah, they might want to. And there goes the Mystic Gush here, but Force Flicker out of Hatred, still getting caught here by Flap Teasy. No problem whatsoever for the world champion XP laner. Force that Flicker out, still gets that kill.
The reason why TNC lost control at the early stages was because of AP Bren going in for that fight up top. It's actually pretty smart because they utilized the strength of the X-Borg, knowing that Ryzen eventually will show up, and then they parked 3 of their heroes up top, taking out Heads, and then denying the XP cart, also poking Ryzen along the way. So there's a lot of things that they were able to achieve up top, and that's why TNC lost the turtle fight. I thought that TNC should not fight under the turtle anymore because they've already lost so much, but because they didn't cut their losses, now they are down 1.5k.
Man, I feel like, you know, whenever I'm on the desk with you, Wolf, I share IQ with you because that's my same sentiments, right? I was hoping TNC wouldn't fight that.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would just realize Ryzen was less than half health. They didn't have the level 4s available, even a Nomad. They just gave it up, right? But they're trying to make a play here in the mid.
Yeah, one more Daytona's welcome. Straight into Ryzen. They are getting caught between a rock and a hard place right now. And Few and Ogwen just enduring the damage from the Gord. And Flap Teasy, as usual, ready to rotate, take that fight for AP Bren once more. A lot of the battle spells used here on the side of TNC.
Yeah, that's tough. You know why? Because Hatred, I believe he only has the, I think he only has the Arcane Boots. Like, I don't think he has any of the big items yet, or even on his way to that first item just yet, because, you know, when you find setups like that, the Mystic Gush is not going to be enough in terms of the tankiness even provided from AP Bren right now with their current lineup. So they have to buy more time here.
I think the problem is for TNC, this is a snowball composition from AP Brand. And the fact that they're leading by 1,300 gold just makes that matter very, very much unmanageable. Few with a glowing wand already is a big problem for the for the second turtle fight, because that means that you just can't show up. And look at Few identifying that that's available. It's already poking the members of TNC.
No fear whatsoever on the side of Capitan Few. Flapteasy though, he's getting wailed on the back by the lineup of TNC, but here comes the protection being offered by a Diggy. Flapteasy very low though, and it's gonna be TNC taking on the turtle. Kalteasy might be in trouble, but gets Nomad on the back end of that one. Flicker out by Ogwen, make sure that TNC get something here. That fight.
Great pickup there. Able to at least get the turtle, right? But crazy too that Flap was able to survive that whole exchange, but still kind of a back and forth, but AP Brent holding on to that lead.
An amazing play coming out from AP Brand with the micro that they have. TNC, interestingly, still snagged that turtle, so that's great for them.
Whoa!
They will get more.
There you go. There's the burst that we're expecting from a Gord right there.
That's some big damn.
That's some big damn moment.
It's there. And currently, for Hatred, as he gets on the board here, he's going to be building up exactly what he needs to. But hold on, Yasuo, he's quite low, but should be fine. Nomad also using the conceal there. But for TNC, right, as we take a look at this, how's this playing a part in terms of the economy and the itemizations?
Okay, so it's very important to take these Radiant Armors. Economy is bad for TNC, but it's not that bad. Oh
My goodness. Few.
Yep. Did you see that? You know, Vixana, but I'll explain later. There's a clash.
There's a clash. Right now, it is going to be saved up by Ogwen. That is a beautiful times journey, making sure that the, AP Brand members are still mobile and they can still kind of throw out their skills. Heads still in range for that final slash that we're talking about here, but the Tour Depart memory will clean him up. Yasuo, super late to the party, still gets that kill though. That could be big for the goal laner for TNC.
Yasuo Claude. But anyways, you saw that Few when he got jumped upon. He just popped the Purify, and even as he was walking, was able to pop the ultimate. The animation for Vixana is crazy.
It really is.
Somebody has to nerf that guy. That Vixana, I don't know. I'm not one to assume pronouns now, but yeah, somebody has to nerf that hero.
Well, it'll eventually, it'll eventually happen, right? But right now, the fight for this next turtle is coming through.
Eternal Guard's insane right now. I gotta agree. And right now, even as we are speaking, they are clashing under this huge pile of rock. Ryzen still on point with the Retribution. Good damage as well coming in from Flapteasy. Gets a double for his efforts, and heads falls to Few.
Well, again, right now, AP Bren. Oh, hold on, Yasuo.
Yeah, Yasuo, he's trying to see if he can clean up the scraps here, but no, none will be available for you, good sir.
Marco?
Not in this one. Hatred, the skin of his teeth there, making it alive.
Good flicker out from Hatred. You see through the replay, the AoE damage from AP Brent's explosions around the turtle. And it all started because of Flapteasy's insane blast insanity. Damage is there. And then Kalteasy just catching isolating one of the members of TNC. And I think that's a great choice. Like, even controlling heads or Ryzen should be enough.
Flapteasy though, just absorbing so much damage right now. Still has that last insanity, but no, not anymore. Has to flicker out of there.
Just throw everything at him. Flap's going to be fine, right? He's got the armor. He flickers out. But TNC looking to at least get this turret. They're going to trade, though. Cross map here as tier 2 in the bottom lane is going to fall. And AP Bren still looking to find anything they can on the map against TNC leading into this first Lord. Again, just like we talk about patterns from AP Bren, they start to put the pressure around this mark to either get a kill or two and work around that. So we have to see if TNC learned from game 1, if they can kind of keep things together, keep things safe for now, and hopefully win that first big objective dance in the Lord Pit. But right now, the main thing is itemizations coming online as well for AP Bren, working around this 2.5k gold lead.
And that's a gold lead that they developed because of their macro. And you can see that Super Marco with his macro plays, going in for the push onto the bottom lane and then transitioning up to the top. He recalled back to base, went up top, and they have taken so much map control away from TNC. That's the AP brand macro.
Yeah, whenever they're standing gold on the map, you expect AP brand to go straight for that the moment that they get the opportunity. That's exactly what they did there on the top side.
Right now, as they go ahead and get this Lord started up, Ryzen has the information. He's going to wait for the rest of the team here. But again, Yasuo is not a part of this fight just yet. They know they have plenty of time, though. Eternal Guard going to come down. TNC heads, jumps in.
And yes, it wasn't taking a lot of time here. They're all just way too late to the party as the Lord is already taken up by AP Brent. Ryzen caught in a very bad spot. Nomad, though, he really tried. But yeah, faced off in the foot with a huge times 30. Damage is real, though. When Yasuo gets to the fight, you know he does the damage. He gets a double for his efforts.
Wow, what a hero play coming up from Yasuo. Definitely, they need a lot of that. Yasuo, formerly known as Ninja Killer.
The Ninja Killer.
Ninja Killer.
With ninja plays with this Claude. However, AP Bren, great identification of what TNC's formation will be. What they did was to burst down the Lord because they know that TNC is not paying attention to the Lord area, and they have a lot of burst damage against the Lord anyways, a lot of objective damage. That's why eventually took out the Lord that easily, taken away from TNC. However, it is clear now that TNC does not have the strength in this mid game.
Yeah.
They will now have to depend on the late game.
They were being out-rotated hard here, man.
They were.
Have you noticed that?
I rolled. Ogwin, too. You got to give it up to Ogwin here. A lot, even in that last exchange for that Lord fight, he held on to the times journey for that timing to kind of counterplay into that implosion. And now they deal with this Lord here on the bottom side to see if they can put the pressure in.
Oh, they put Kaltisi inside the base. That is huge. And the shielding from the times journey will not be enough to save him. But Nomad will also suffer here. Lord is wailing up on that base. Double kill here for Super Marco. They're still in range. Ultimate still available for Yasuo, but he will not use it for now, though. Gonna have to really pick his timing here. Here comes another Final Slash activated by Heads. This time, no times journey to save him, but AP Bren stands strong.
There's always this dilemma. Will you fight when your enemy is ahead by 3,000 gold, fight under your turret with the Lord there, or just defend? TNC went for the fight, and because of that, they lost more.
Yeah, they did lose a lot here. Heads going down. No more Final Slash to worry about here for AP Bren. Good damage from Hatred, clearing out these lanes. But as you can see, Fuse got some in the bag as well.
This is what I'm talking about. The synergy with AP Bren, whatever lineup they have, it's very apparent how they layer a lot of these skill sets from the heroes they choose. And TNC right now, fully exposed base, trying to keep it together, waiting for the next two members to come up.
Seems to be Ryzen again, just trying to do as much as he can, maybe block out these minion waves. But in the end, AP Bren's superior macro just outmaneuvering TNC in each and every corner, gets them to 2-0.
AP Brent showing it how it's done once again. A big lesson learned here, hopefully for TNC, facing against the champions, the world champions at that. A master class once again from AP Bren, even with a variation in the lineup here from game one. Took them a little bit longer, but still the result is the same. They sweep TNC.
This is